This is going to be a fairly short video. What I'm planning to do in this fairly empty kitchen, which I like very much, to be honest. It's so simplistic, I don't have to worry about really cleaning anything or getting tired of standing, because this is a sitting kitchen. I can't really say if it will remain to be a sitting kitchen, but at the moment it is a sitting kitchen. And I was just going through some insane shit, like sometimes emotions just well up inside of me and I just don't know what to do. My specific problem is with women, where I have no idea what to choose, who would be right for me, and if I even ever would want to be with another woman again. And I think the only way that I could see that working out for me would be if a woman would come to me and say, you know what, I really want you. The problem is that at the point where I'm at now, I would probably say, fuck you right in your face. Because every woman that ever came to me and acted like, you know, I kind of like you, they just left. And so I have the standpoint, or I'm trying to maintain my standpoint of, I don't run after women anymore. I may try to engage with them, but if nothing comes from their side, I stay where I am. Because it's driving me insane. I have this habit of running after women and it's terrible. And now I was thinking of what I could eat now to really stuff myself so that I don't have to think about it anymore. But the problem is I don't have any of these foods that one would normally stuff themselves with. And therefore, I said, I'm just gonna make a juice. I may also say, why don't I just make a cacao ceremony? Or, why don't I first make a juice and then I'll make a cacao ceremony, and then I basically have some kind of, you know, double kick. Because what also helps against, you know, I don't want to call it necessarily a depression. It's actually the opposite of a depression. It's too much, right? It's just like emotional overload. So if you feel like you want to be burned alive and really have the sun shining out of your ass, then the best thing to do is to just take some citrus fruits, juice them, and then drink them, and then see what happens. I mean, if you have problems with stomach aches, or have a sensitive stomach, or have heartburn easily, I suggest you first start changing your diet. Make a fast, I don't know, do an anorganic sulfur detox, do any kind of detox that speaks to you. Some people, they just eat cabbage soup for, I don't know, 1 month, and then you just see what happens, right? You can also do a sugar fast where you say, for 6, 7, 8 weeks, I will not eat gluten, I will not eat sugar, I will eat ketogenic. What that means, you have to look that up for yourself. The best way would be probably vegan ketogenic. Now, if you have a particularly hard day and you feel really terrible and you hate the world, one way to boost yourself is to make a citrus shot. Now, this is more than a shot, this is a grapefruit. A grapefruit. And this is an orange, and this is a lime. Yeah, I got these all for free because my neighbor collects food from supermarkets that would normally throw it away. I don't know how that works. So I don't have a fruit juicer, and I also don't have a citrus press. What I do have a pestle, which comes from a mortar and a pestle. Maybe it's the other way around, who knows? So what I can do is I can take this thing, I can take a bowl. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I'm alone in an apartment. I basically have no internet, only on my phone, and I'm really reluctant to watch any movies or do anything on the internet, because that also drives me insane. Because the internet is Pandora's box. You open it and only shit comes out. So I like to feed the internet with my content, but I'm trying to stay away from it, right? Yeah, I occasionally check emails and do such things. Let's start with the line. The line. Yeah. I have so much energy because I had kind of a nervous breakdown in terms of masturbation. But I haven't masturbated for some time. And that also drives me insane. It's like, there's so much energy. You know, you could put me in a room full of children and I wouldn't tire of entertaining them. I would probably scare them. And that's the thing, you have so much energy, you don't know what to do with it. I did just have a nervous breakdown. I didn't really masturbate, but I did wiggle around with the snake a little. You know, that's my burden to bear. Oh, the smell already. You know, that's like the smell that reminds you of Cuba Libre. That was often one of my favorite. But the problem is that the Coke is just so toxic, so much sugar, it's so bad for your stomach. Not just your stomach, your entire system, it's just literally overload. I mean, there's already enough sugar in citrus fruits, but most people don't really know that. Really nice thing if you have cuts in your hand. This one, fortunately, already healed from bouldering. But if you have cuts and you do it, whoa, wow. You see, you just have to be inventive, and that's what I mean with DIY. I mean, most people, they don't see the opportunities and possibilities that they have, right? They're just stuck in a rut. They just do what they've done all their lives, right? It's like, yeah, I mean, just, if I look at my dad, I mean, he just, you know, he wants to work at a job that brings him lots of money. But this job also keeps him trapped. He has to sit around all day. So why doesn't he just look for another job? Because he doesn't want to earn below his standards. Because he's a little princess now. Yeah, he thinks he only should be paid such and such money, because if he would be paid below that, his self-esteem would basically fade into nothingness. Right? And that's what really annoys me about insecure people. They think that the money they have on their bank account says anything about them. And that reflects back onto me, because I sometimes have the same problem. But I love having a kitchen like this. This is really nice. And that's why I also don't want to invite anyone into here. No man and nobody else who I know will kind of judge this place. I don't know how long I can maintain this, but I think I can maintain it for the rest of my life. Because if I invite people into here, they will look at this and they will say, you could have done this different, you could have done this different. I love it the way it is. I really love it the way it is. But if somebody else would come into here, they would say, why don't you have chairs? Where's your TV? Why don't you have Wi-Fi? Why don't you do this a little different? It's none of your goddamn business. And even though my parents, or the people who think they are my parents, pay this apartment, I don't really feel like inviting them into it. Because to be honest, at this moment, they pay me an apartment because they wanted to get rid of me. Or they felt bad about whatever they did, right? I mean, I've talked about this already. So I don't owe them shit because they wanted to pay this for me. They wanted to have me out of sight. So why should I do anything, right? It's like, this is the consequence. Because they could have said, I'll just give you 10,000 euros, you're on your own now. Maybe they would have helped me more with that. Now they give me an apartment, and that's it. Sure, I shouldn't complain, but it's just the energy in which it happens. It just requires me to keep going back there, which is of course the point. So this is just a feeling I had. I have like this inner craving for juice. I don't know why, I can't really tell you, but my diet has really been changing. I almost eat no sugar anymore. I basically stopped drinking coffee and I feel much better. Because when you drink coffee, it just screws up your whole energy flow. And that's also something I think that I have to get used to. That's driving me insane, I'm telling you. And women drive me insane. They just don't know what they want at all anymore. Like these days, women, they just don't know anything. They're so cut off from their intuition, right? I'm just standing here and I say, isn't there any woman out there who likes me a little bit more than herself? And if you do find one, then they're so afraid of admitting it. It's like, what the fuck? I don't really care, right? I don't really care if there would be an 18-year-old young woman that would say, I love you, I want you to be my husband and give me children. I would say, all right, I'll go for it. Let her be 26. I don't want a wife that's older than me. I want a wife that's younger than me. That's just my personal dilemma, right? But that's just how I feel. Just the way I can see it work. I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I have. What kind of wife I would have. Sure, at one point you simply have preferences. I prefer women that also like to learn from a man. Sure, I can learn from a woman, but usually the experiences I've made is that women think they know it all already. They don't really want to learn from you. Yeah, and maybe I'm the same, I don't really know. Yeah, but I'm also reluctant to give up. I just keep looking. Just say, I'll just keep looking. I'll find one at some point that's not a pussy, because the woman that I need also has to be courageous. Like, she has to be okay to sometimes go in the forest together and do, yeah, I'm just gonna say psychedelics because I like doing this. And I also want to do this with my wife, right? This is a part of my life. And I don't only want to do this alone, I also want to do this together. Because this is a part of human heritage. Sure, maybe women don't need it all the time. I don't know, right? Maybe giving birth is already that for them. But for me, it's just a simple thing. I like women. Fuck! You see, that's why having a citrus press is nice. But also being less angry. I'm really riled up. I just literally have no idea what I'm supposed to do with my life at all anymore. And this is what I hate about this world that humans have created. There's just no respect for anything. We just think we're above it all. Cheers. I'm just so sick of women, I'm telling you. Just look at this. Yeah, it's a clean floor. And now it's even cleaner.